landed in Florida. Type Latin American troops land in Florida. I want people to see that. There's video of that. Latin American troops land in Florida, and they practice storming the beaches. And again, all of this is acclamation, but that's not my opinion. In the John Warner Defense Authorization Act of 2007, read it for yourself. In the Presidential Decision Directive 51 that Obama's continued, it states that the executive branch is supreme dictator over the entire government. Congress isn't even allowed to see the full copy of it under national security, even the Homeland Security Committee. In there, it states it all. And it states that Homeland Security and Northcom will use U.S. military to engage domestic threats and to police the United States. And the RAND Corporation came out 2 weeks ago. In fact, that's out in my stack. Will somebody go grab me that RAND Corporation report? It's 200 pages, roughly. It's out there in the stack on the table. I'll just show that to you. And it says how the Pentagon is already setting up and running, and they propose it go fully operational, total federalization of all local police, where the military supports them and they support the military, and domestic centers set up with a new Pentagon-run national police force. And again, this is all rolled out slowly. It's all rolled out incrementally. Now, this is a National Review article, and when you read the Threat Watch, that has the real breakdown, really a scholarly report where it says Steve Shippert has more at Threat Watch. Why does Interpol need immunity from American law? Written by Andy McCarthy. You just can't make up how bizarre this crowd is. 1 week ago, President Obama quietly signed an executive order that makes international police force immune from the restraints of American law. Interpol is the shorthand for the International Criminal Police Organization. It was established in 23, but really got powerful after World War II, and operates in 188 countries. It's the real mafia. By Executive Order 12,425, issued in 1983, President Reagan recognized Interpol's international organization and gave it some of the privileges and immunities customarily extended to foreign diplomats. Interpol, however, is also an active law enforcement agency, so critical privileges and immunities set forth in Section 2C of the International Organizations Immunities Act were withheld. That's the section we read earlier. Specifically, Interpol's property and assets remain subject to search and seizure. They don't have diplomatic immunity. And its archived records remain subject to public scrutiny under provisions like the Freedom of Information Act, being constrained by the Fourth Amendment, the FOIA, and other limitations of the Constitution and federal law that protect the liberty and privacy of Americans, and what prevents law enforcement and its controlling government authority from becoming tyrannical. Well, you little globalist over at the CIA-founded National Review should have thought about that before you helped sell America out, huh? On Wednesday, however, for no apparent reason, President Obama issued an executive order removing the Reagan limitations. This is Interpol's property and assets are no longer subject to search and confiscation, and its archives are now considered inviolable. Inviolable. Having trouble pronouncing that word, but that means basically the right of kings. In fact, give me the definition of inviolable. I-N-V-I-O-L-I-A-B-L-E. I mean, I know it means that they're sovereign, standing apart, cannot be violated, cannot have liens placed on it, cannot be abridged, but I want to check that. So I-N-V-I-O-L-A-B-L-E, and that's what the executive order says. The International Police Force, whose U.S. headquarters is the Justice Department in Washington, will be unrestrained by U.S. Constitution and American law while it operates in the United States and affects both Americans and American interest outside the United States. And that's the key. This is not just about foreign troops foreign police getting to come over here. This is about our FBI, our federal police, our federal marshals fully operating under UN authority, international authority, and having immunity that's been extended to this guild. This inviolable. Interpol works closely with international tribunals such as the International Criminal Court, which the United States has refused to join because of its sovereignty surrendering provisions. And remember what the Supreme Court has said. 5 of the 9 members have said recently. They've said, we will follow the orders of the UN. Listen to this. Marines and multinational forces train in Florida. Go ahead and play a clip of that. Go ahead and play the intro clip of that. Put that video up on screen. I'm going back to the previous document I asked for. Before I asked for Supreme Court justices, articles were there in the USA Today and other places telling you that the UN's the boss. Here it is. Play it.
This is the first time, first, it's a great opportunity to always observe the Navy Marine Corps team do something together that no one else can do. But it's really important this year because for the first time in 50 years, the U.S. Navy Marine Corps team is being joined by Infanteria de Marina from many countries throughout the Latin American region. So it's a really historic event for us. Personally, I think it's been a long time coming. It's important because it demonstrates the importance of the relationships between our countries and how important it is for us to continue to work together.
Amphibious demonstration. Basically, we had Marine Corps, U.S. Marine Corps. We have partner nation Marine Corps coming off the USS Ashland and USS Mesa Verde to do what we call an amphibious demonstration. As you know.
Okay, and then it cuts to tourists
landing craft
on the Florida beach with troops walking around with machine guns. Now, again, let me pull this up for people who are in denial. People really hate this when those in denial really don't know what to do about this when I document everything live on the fly here. And the guys get a lot of credit for being able to pull this up so quick. Supreme Court Justice says UN law trumps U.S. law. That should pull it up for you. You'll get 5 of the 9 saying it. They're all meant to come out and say it. So, why does the UN have all this immunity? Set up by the Rockefellers in 1945 in Presidio, San Francisco, and Manhattan, New York, New York. Why? Why do we constantly have UN bureaucrats, every week I see it in the news, all over the world, caught running white slavery, caught running drugs? No one can look in their suitcases. I mean, if a UN bureaucrat lands with 20 cases, no one can search it. This is the international crime syndicate of the globalists giving themselves the authorization to engage in white slavery, money laundering, drug shipments. The UN gets caught under diplomatic immunity with their private contractors like DynCorp and Halliburton on record, loading up jets full of little kids and women they've kidnapped. The giant sex trade, this is on record. Could UN trump U.S. Constitution? I don't know if that's the right article. Try USA Today behind it, because I remember that headline. All right, continuing here. Interpol works closely with international tribunals, such as the International Criminal Court, which the United States has refused to join because of sovereignty surrendering provisions, though top Obama officials want to use it. It also works closely with foreign courts and law enforcement authorities, such as those in Europe, that are investigating former Bush administration officials for war crimes. So they're coming at this of, oh, we don't want that because they could, and then that sells the left on being for it. Don't worry, Obama's already said he's not going to investigate Bush, and you know, if one UN member votes for it, that means nothing. Don't worry, the crimes will go unpunished. But you can't have a kangaroo court try Bush for crimes. It's got to be a U.S. court. Why would we elevate an international police force above American law? Why would we give immunity to an international police force from the limitations that constrain the FBI and other American law enforcement agencies? Why is it suddenly necessary to have within the Justice Department a repository for stashing government files, which therefore will be beyond the ability of Congress, American law enforcement, and the media and the American people to scrutinize? Now, that's a good article. Now, here's another one out of the Jerusalem Post. We're running out of time here, but Jerusalem Post, December 21st, IDF, U.S. National Guard to share defense ideas. And you read the article, and it openly says in the article